okayfm 101.7.
Enwa ye interview na ye ne honorable Reverend Ntim Fordjour kwatwetwe nkomo ena okobo eye Herald the Bokrata eye miakasa menua Larry Dogbe ne Herald the Bokrata se asem bi a watro no ho na mamenkenkan na manye miskoti o se CDS others defied Interior Ministry in armored Lexus car smuggling scandal.
Okay.
Na eno kura no so wokọ on the internet na star story na nkasa so wo ha e ma wo kan ho asem na yesi obi nsi twero do matoa ye ne akasa ye nua Larry Dogbe na o twam enam se wodi etena se na asem ye nkyerem pa Larry memoje
kwa me mejo so bia boko
na oso
Charlie
Rodi.
The last time I saw you Azerbaijan.
And hold the SSA could be moved.
Charlie, anytime. We are ready, I don't afraid. So it's a very beautiful country.
A very beautiful country.
Yeah, very, very beautiful.
Very beautiful country.
Very beautiful.
Hey.
They are well advanced.
Yes.
Yes. But you can't military once them. When them say Ghana Armed Forces, Ekoto away, Armored cars be FAO.
Every
Azerbaijan,
Baku.
Yeah, and these were armored cars that were manufactured in 1972.
Wow.
Yes, 1972, Kwame. So if Ntim Fordjour is listening, you see, it is not enough to just come and call people names.
Yakoto in 19. Yes. Manufactured in
1972. Ghana forces. I mean, the soldiers are listening. 1972. Abandoned.
So what motivated?
They can't be used as we are talking. Those that were sent to Sudan can't be used by Ghanaian soldiers. And that actually...
armored cars in what form?
Armored cars that, I mean, is armored cars that are supposed to, your friends say... Yes, to aid soldiers in their operations. Okay, that is a developing story. Listen, the roads in the your friends saying Ghana Armed Forces. The roads in Ghana Armed Forces. I hope the Defense Minister Dr. Edward Kofi Omani is going to do something about it. I hope President Mahama would want to do something about Ghana Armed Forces.
But maybe
I hope the Armed Forces Council would want to do something about whatever it is that has happened in the last 8 years.
But maybe I'm not hoping brief for them.
Yeah.
But we can say, though the armored cars were manufactured in 1972, but it's worth it.
They are disused, Kwame. Go to Reki Regiment, you find them there.
Okay.
And this is public radio.
Sure.
And so, and yes, I'm baby, and I'm kasa. I'm telling you this.
Okay.
So before we come to whatever Ntim Fordjour, said yesterday, I thought he was going to be on air. The names he called us, I mean, we have been rented by who? President Mahama. And that he is ready to summon us before whatever, or going to summon Omani Buama to appear before the committee of which is the ranking member of. You see, he doesn't have to even call Omani Buama. He should call me.
In what capacity?
He should call me as the reporter.
Okay.
He should call me as the person who...
So when the committee deems it fit.
He should call General Pompepra to also sit in there. Okay. He should call the outgoing military chiefs to be there as well. Nobody is trying to scandalize anybody. A lot of money goes through Ministry of Defense so that they protect us, to protect the territorial integrity of this country. When they, and in doing that, they need logistics to do so. Do you understand? And so, in the absence of that, when that collapses, listen, the country is in trouble. So everything is given to them to ensure that, listen, we are safe and secured. But having given you that, they are supposed to ensure, judicious use of some of those resources.
Because
exactly. When we fall short of doing that, as let's say, public friends and people entrusted with power to ensure that, state officials, then we journalists come in to report, say, listen, this is what is happening here. Civil society can pick it up and ensure that pressure is mounted on government to ensure accountability. And this thing is purely accountability. I don't remember the last time I saw Omani Buama. I think the last time I saw him was at General Anotkweno's funeral at Burma camp. Thank you. And we just exchanged greetings and then I moved on. He doesn't talk to me and then I don't talk to him. I haven't spoken to President Mahama in a long time.
Yeah.
When the government came, nobody has had any meeting with me or Herald or whatever. But reporting on military, I hear yesterday can come, and they can come of the informer. I can say, listen, we've been reporting on military things, not today.
Sure.
Listen, Herald didn't start yesterday. We have been in production since when? 2010. Okay?
Oh, okay. That's 15 years.
Thank you.
Down the lane. Yeah.
And when did I leave GIJ? I left GIJ 2002 or 2003.
Hey, Ache.
I
want you, sir.
I have colleagues here. I have colleagues in other media houses who are editors like me, Ghanaian Times, Daily Graphic, and many other media houses. So when you have a politician like Ntim Fordjour, he's supposed to be a pastor.
But no, he's a pastor.
Which way? Which congregation?
In fact,
but listen, we are all.
But no, they are not all concerned to protect the sanctity of the Ghana Armed Forces. Maybe
Kwame, okay, and he said when we don't. They said we are not supposed to wash our dirty linens in public, isn't it? But sir, what do we do? Because somebody, listen, in the name of national security, in the name of an audited defense budget, there is massive corruption that goes on. There is massive corruption. All that the person has to do is to label the things there. Oh, this is national security, and then they will come and kill Ohiniwa and say, oh, Ohiniwa, we killed her because she was a threat to national security. Do you understand? So, sanctity of what? Let me digress a bit. Ntim Fordjour sent me a message sometime last week.
Okay. And
then also Watro Bibi or Facebook or somewhere on one social media, and that we should publish it in the Herald for him. So we did. And then subsequently he asked for the link to the story, which I sent to him. This was before he spoke to you yesterday.
Okay.
So he's somebody who has my number.
Thank
you.
Okay.
Now, after he sent that, I sent him the story. I sent him a link of the story we had done on the military. Then he asked for document on the particular cars that he spoke about, the armored cars. The armored cars is a Toyota with Land Cruisers, Land Cruisers Bear 5, and with Lexus Baku de Cao. The Lexus.
Yes, story about and run.
Yeah, the one that he was talking about.
Okay.
So that is different from the Azerbaijan armored cars. The 20, those ones are hard military stuff. This one is armored plated Toyota Land Cruiser.
But when you come to Azerbaijan, let's say armored cars. Yeah. Sophisticated ones, modern ones.
Thank you. They bought 1972 ones, but then that is beside the point. I would get to that one later. But the one he talked about yesterday had to do with Land Cruiser, armored plated Land Cruisers, 5 of them. He bought it for all the top military guys, the CDS, the Army Commander, the Navy, Air Force, and then their Chief of Staff, and then and others. So 5 of them.
For their personal use of...
Yeah, so then the cars came. When the cars came...
okayfm.
we investigated and noticed that the cars were not put in the fleet. So, it wasn't in their record. However, the military went through it. Kwame, I'm holding some papers. I am holding some papers that talked about the transaction, the procurement things, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, that is where we got the story from. And when we wrote the story, and then I sent him the link. After the interaction, he sent an earlier one, and then I also sent him this. Because he was a ranking member, I was expecting, say, listen, he would want to investigate. Quickly, he said, I should give him the document. I said, listen, you are a ranking member. So what you can do is say, listen, we have mentioned certain institutions in the publication. So by virtue of your position, you can get in touch with some of these institutions and get the document. So thank you, Kwame. Okay. I noticed that per the conversation, he wasn't too happy. But you could even, detect that per the way he was, the message that he sent. Okay, but I left it like that. But to wake up yesterday in the morning, and I heard that he was on air. You interviewed him, and he was running us down to a point where Andy even had to come in and say that, listen, whatever you were saying about Larry, that is not true. And I'm saying, sir, for a man who has a relationship with me,
that is the
most outrageous thing he could do. Okay, for a man who could send me a message, something to write for him or something, that is the most outrageous thing to do. Calling us names. And President Mahama has contracted us to do this. Omani, he was going to haul Omani before wherever to come and say whatever. Listen, it's totally uncalled for. And for a pastor, a former minister, a ranking member who wants to ensure accountability in every way, every sphere of life.
To say the veracity of your claim.
But yesterday, when you were questioning him, then you asked him a similar question as to whether or not he's delved into the thing. Then you saw that he was rabbiting. In journalism, there's something called rabbiting. Now we read, now we see. Now then he said, and I say but say then you don't have to say it like that because obviously, this is clearly somebody who is incoherent, disoriented. He didn't know what he was talking about. And at best, he was just on the damage control. I told him that, listen, go to the institutions that have been mentioned in the story. Talk to them. By virtue of your position, you could get the document.
Committee can even call for documents and whatever.
Thank you. The army, I don't think, sir, Anopawe, the CDS has gone on. He's now retired. I don't think he took the institution away.
No.
The officers who took part in some of those transactions and so on, they are all living witnesses. Okay? They are there. They could be called. So if the committee, the defense committee, is ready to delve into this thing, they should even do a public way hearing and they should televise it. I am ready to appear. Nobody is out there to damage anybody. Listen, upon Pepra, as in the general, whatever he is, I mean, if he is a good soldier, let it be like that. But it wouldn't take me or the Herald to damage him. There are certain decisions that he took, and I say, people under him or his stewardship that he took, that he has to account for. And that is what we were reporting on. So for a ranking member who had just come out of a government that promised a friend saying accountability, I won't be corrupt, I'll protect the public purse, and so on and so forth. I mean, this obviously is not a protection of the public purse. And he, as a reverend, somebody who swears on the Bible, who reads the Bible, who quotes the Bible, and in the interview you had with him, he was quoting the Bible, every step of the way. He should be interested in the truth. You don't come and sit down here and run me down. And our NDC, so and so newspaper, so and so that paper. Listen, he should go and ask Asiedun whether or not there is any meeting that decides what certain newspapers should report. If other newspapers, meetings are held with other newspapers, I don't attend those meetings.
I see.
I don't attend those meetings. And I don't think anybody on the Herald attends such meetings because we don't get called. If it's happened NDC headquarters, we don't get called. If it happens Flagstaff House or even your friends saying Cantonment, we don't get called.
Because you cannot be manipulated or what?
It's not about not being manipulated. It's about, I think a lot of the things you hear about NDC media, MPP media, so and so media, sometimes some of those things are just, people have just, done it that way. It's a convenient thing that they throw around just to discredit you. It's a convenient thing they throw around that politicians do and then to discredit you. You go and record them. And then when you are playing the thing, he will even deny, say, on one voice.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Matthias,
so, I mean, listen, there is another side of this story. There is a Lexus. Out of the the cars that came, five of the Toyotas went to all the people that we mentioned. Out of that, there was a Lexus as well that went to General Pompepra. Okay, and then the Lexus was also an armored plated, just like the Toyota vehicles. You get it? Now, so he alone got 2 cars. Out of the 6 cars, the Lexus, later after we wrote one of the stories, then he quickly dashed to the customs, and wanting to pay duty on the car.
Now, how come they call it?
So as we speak, if the custom guys registered, had him to pay the duty, that means that car has become his personal property.
The ABI with an internal arrangement within the Ghana.
Internal arrangement within the Ghana Forces. The car was imported together with those armored cars that were supposed to be for the seat for him and then the other service chiefs. You get what I'm saying? So I mean. And the cars are supposed to be in the custody of the Ghana Armed Forces. Eban is saying that it ended up in their homes, and then it's not part of the fleet of the Ghana Armed Forces. And then out of the 6, the Lexus, which is different from the Toyota cars, ended up in his house. Also ended up in his house. So out of that transaction, he got 2 cars out of it. Now, Kwame, another thing we discovered out of the transaction is that the cars, according to the military document, the cars were sold to the Ghana Armed Forces at the cost of $285,000. $285,000. Kwame. Meanwhile, per customs records, the company that brought in the cars is quoting with $160,000. Do you know the difference?
Sure.
The difference was $120,000 per car. So you have reported that you bought one car for $285,000. Meanwhile, then the custom said you rather bought the car for $160,000. An outrageous profit.
It's
going to where? It's going to the company that supplied the cars. It's going to the company that supplied the cars. So each car they made a profit of $120,000 per car.
Wow.
So do the math.
Times 7.
No, times 6.
Times 6. Sorry.
Or even times 5. Because per the records, the military bought only 5 cars.
Okay.
By importing it, they imported 6 cars. And the 6 cars, they cleared the 6 cars in the name of the Ghana Armed Forces. So as we speak, per the security arrangement, the cars were cleared in the name of Ghana Armed Forces. However, this car then now finds its way into the private home of General Pompepra.
Wow.
And so then after some time, when issued by quickly he then dashed to customs Say, listen, I want to register the car.
Na odi coffee no per the okay na number ben na usual.
No, I don't know what number he's using on the car, because with that, if he was driving it at the time, because it's not registered, he can't. For instance, he can't use let's say he can't use a DVLA number. He might as well go to the armed forces and say, listen, mommy, we for instance special number so that I could be using it, and it's done all the time.
And young one was said, "Didn't me be say internal arrangement be between akosono." And young one was say, "On to me for ne pe emfa." On
to me emfa the one. Emfa Lexus na said. No, the Lexus I'm told sir. The Lexus came as part of the 5 cars. OTS here. And it's shaping up a special gift on the procurement of those cars. Again, I have told you, sir, the company quoted $285,000 as a unit price of one of the vehicles. Okay, but then in reporting to customs, they reported that they rather bought the car for $160,000. Now, what is the difference? Sir, you inflated the thing so that you can get a Lexus out of it, and the Lexus ended up in the home of the head of the military. Wow. And who is questioning that? The Lexus ended up in the home of the head of the military. I mean, how much is your friend saying Land Cruiser sold?
Within 150 ever.
Okay, but
depending on the specs.
Okay, but this one was bought for $160,000 per what they reported to me, because customs has a means of checking.
Oh yes.
The cost of it.
What the background na Land Cruiser there. Yeah. But near me womb. In your womb. Specs no. Yeah.
Okay. So again, almost share your womb no. Per the military records which I have, there was a committee that was set up to go and investigate, the whole way, assess the vehicles. They noted, even though the military requested for cars that were manufactured 2024, 2025, the cars that were bought were 2022 vehicles.
Okay.
And the specs that they wanted in the car or on the cars, those were not what the companies gave them. So the committee had even flagged. The friend saying what the company brought. Okay. Now, Kwame, we all know law of contract. Say the moment you didn't meet the terms and conditions of that procurement as a supplier, the contract is, automatically terminated.
Yes.
Vitiated. It's vitiated. Sure. But in this case, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. The military still accepted the whole deal like that and went away smiling. Could it be, it was because of the Lexus that went to the CDS at the time? And the CDS's Lexus was of a higher spec compared to the compared to the Toyota Land Cruisers. Okay. So if you have a ranking member who has just been appointed, who wants to be noticed, who is a pastor, who every now and then flaunts their friends and quoting the Bible and all that and so on, and wanting the truth and nothing but the truth, you don't come and sit on air and be calling us names and be saying, we have been rented to do things, we are scandalizing generals and so on. You should be accountability minded. The Bible talks about that. Okay? But the fact that you have sworn an oath that you will, you be fair in everything, you will ensure you are in parliament with people, you had contested an election, promising them to be of your friends and to be a protector of their resources. You don't come and sit on air and talk anyhow.
Okay.
If you want at the appropriate time, if I have to release some of the documents to you, yes, I'll release them to you.
Mate.
Okay, but he should also go out there and look for some of those documents.
I will try and then yes, I do come up. Bibi ani so metun sana me de afrew. Me de pa so so ba ye na say I can't go so.
No, Charlie, I mean, I know you've always been a fair-minded person.
Yeah.
We've known each other for some time.
For some time
and,
now, yeah.
As soon as your producer called me, said this
sure.
is, I mean, the way, I decided quickly I have to come and then show you some of the things and so on. I would have wished he's also on air.
Maybe if the needs be, I'll arrange it.
Oh, well, I hope it comes.
You know I can do that.
Oh yeah, I know. Nothing is beyond you.
Thank you. Eminia Larry, Dogbe, editor, Herald, newspaper, and I'm in actually and common afa and Sembia a ban rana yedidi hum common and then so na.
OKFM 101.7.